ironically, there were 3 Russian kids who went to elementary school. And he was not friends with them because they were so tight together in elementary school. But in high school, they became part of the
Say hi.
Phenomenal. I literally came over to say thank you so much for connecting with Rabbi Tutter. I hope that he had as much fun as I did, but I really had a blast. I really enjoyed it.
I had lunch with him,
Yes.
and he was so fascinated and engaging, but so deep in psychology, whatever, all kinds of deep learnings, and I'll be here about
That was exactly.
You'll be able to actually respond. I'm looking at him like you're gonna actually know what I'm talking
It
about.
was so wide-ranging and exactly that, and phenomenal. And it was just, I was so interested in what he had to say, what I had. It was.
אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבט אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was okay for a Friday afternoon, but terrible for Kabbalat Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yay, we have living humans here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here this evening with all of you in our beautiful sanctuary. as the sun is going down over here in the west, and these windows keep lighting up in the most beautiful, beautiful, colorful, vibrant ways. It's a great privilege tonight to celebrate so many people and so many wonderful things. Tonight is filled with smachot, with simchas, with happy occasions, and it's a great privilege to be together on this night when we celebrate the confirmation of 7 of our teens. Bless you. And also the ordination of Rabbi George Altshuler, who has survived his first week as a rabbi in the world. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I would like to begin our service with a few announcements about what's coming up, so you can put these things in your mind and be with us every single night. There's all kinds of good stuff going on. Tonight, there is a Yap Shabbat dinner. If you're in your 20s and 30s, please stay for dinner following the service. Tomorrow morning, and everyone of any age is invited to the Oneg, the beautiful festive Nibble Fest, to celebrate all of these happy occasions tonight. Tomorrow morning at 9:15, please join us for Torah study on Zoom with Rabbi Altshuler. Exciting news soon coming about an opportunity to be hybrid, both in person and on camera, for Torah study in June. So that's to come. You can put that in your minds. On Sunday, we are co-sponsoring and hosting the Sephardic Music Festival here in this gorgeous space. So think about attending workshops, reception, and or the concert all of Sunday afternoon and evening. There are activities. Our annual meeting, of course, is coming up next Tuesday night, May 23rd, and then Shavuot later in the week. On Wednesday, I'll be teaching at lunchtime at Manny's in the Mission. I will not actually be teaching about what really happened at Sinai, but if you would like to know what I am teaching about, please show up at 12:30 at Manny's on Wednesday. Thursday night, it didn't make it on here, but our congregation-wide celebration of Shavuot will take place in partnership with Congregation Emmanuel. It is here? Oh, it's here, but not in order. Tikkun Leil Shavuot, Thursday night, May 25th. We will be observing Shavuot with our brothers and sisters at Congregation Emmanuel. Please join us. Cheesecake is promised by the Emmanuel organizers. And then the last 2 sessions of our Part of Life, Death, Dying, and Grieving class, which has been really phenomenal. We're co-sponsoring with Hills of Eternity on May 31st. There's a fabulous presentation about the afterlife, and June 11th, really interesting walking tour of Hills of Eternity. So please join for either or both of those. And then when we move into June, we celebrate the 95th birthday of our Cantor Emeritus, Cantor Feldman. So, lots going on. Please take this home with you and attend all of those things. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Judy Wexler, president of our Board of Trustees, to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom and share some words of greeting.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to everybody here and everybody out there, and especially Shabbat Shalom to everybody up here. This is a very special Shabbat, because we get to celebrate these teens that we have watching, some of them all their lives, some of us for a shorter period of time. All of us who come to services have gotten to enjoy hearing them lead us in chanting, hearing special singing. On Yom Kippur, we got to see some chanting from the Torah. So this is a very, very accomplished group. It's also a group that seems to have a lot of fun together. Yes, I'm seeing nods from Jonathan Emmanuel. So it's a pleasure to be able to celebrate them. And then we have Rabbi George's ordination. And many people here have gotten to watch Rabbi George grow up. And probably there's somebody here that was at his bar mitzvah and his confirmation. And so it's a really special joy to have somebody who has been part of our congregation his whole life come back and join with Rabbi Graff, who also has been part of this congregation their whole life. And it gives us, I think, an incredible depth of experience and depth of community and possibilities for community building as we bring these lifelong people into our community. So it's a special fun to be able to celebrate Rabbi George at the same time that we are celebrating all of you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
For the honor of lighting, is this on? What? I don't think so. Despite the promise, I don't think it is. In honor of Rabbi Altshuler becoming rabbi just a week ago, I would like to invite many important ladies in his life to come forward to light our Shabbat candles. Kate, his wife, and Sella, their beautiful daughter, Julie Cheever, Rabbi Altshuler's mom, who has been a devoted member, along with her husband, of Congregation Shereth Israel for decades, who raised her wonderful children here and who has brought one of them back to us to serve our community. Shalom. I'm Rabbi Jessica Graff, together with Noah Levy and Jonathan Dimmick and Rabbi George Altshuler. We are so pleased to lead you in Shabbat services tonight. Please join with us as we fill this dome with music and with prayer. We turn to page 13 for Mizmor Shir.
Yalai, la, 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 yalai, la, 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 yalai, la, la, yalai, 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 la, 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 yalai, la, 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 yalai, la, 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 with the words, Shiru l'Adonai, Shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, baruch shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sabru b'goyim kevodo, bechol haaretz nifleotav, ki gadol Adonai, umulal meod, norav, al kol Elohim, lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalalai yalalai, yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalai la lai lai, yalalai yalalai, yalai la lai lai, yalai lai lai, yalai la lai lai lai, la la lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai.
Shabbat Shalom. I've been coming to Shearth Israel since around 3rd grade, but only started coming on Friday nights since around 7th. I knew the big prayers from Sunday school, but the first time I went to services on Friday night, the first song I heard was Lecha Dodi, and it instantly took the spot of my favorite prayer. That night, I heard it sung to Karen David's wonderful melody, which you'll hear tonight. After you left, we were graced with Karen Toby's beautifully rhythmic beat. Although I will surely miss those staples, it will also be nice to hear the various new cantorial soloists' takes on this wonderful poem. Lecha Dodi is a poem written by Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz, a 16th century Kabbalist. He wrote it about the Shabbat bride, the personification of respite. In the last verse, we rise and face the entrance to greet her and allow her to exist in our sanctuary. As I entered the synagogue that Friday night, I felt that I was the Shabbat bride, being allowed into our community, and for that I am eternally grateful. It likely goes without saying, but Shearth Israel is very important to me. It is the hub of my spirituality, as well as being the catalyst for some of my best friendships to form and stay together. Shearth Israel, and in particular City, our youth group, has allowed me to grow as a leader better than any other opportunity. For those who don't know, I'm the president of City, and it has been such a delightful experience working with the board to plan events. Another aspect of leadership came from Letaken, a trip to Washington, D.C., where teens such as myself lobbied politicians to support bills in Congress and the House. I also work as a madrich at a studio, where I help to create a lifelong interest in Judaism in elementary schoolers. As a member of City in the studio community, I get to see younger people learn and love learning, as have I. Confirmation is my next step in Judaism after Bar Mitzvah. I don't know where my future will take me, but I do know that wherever I go, I will always pursue Judaism, learning, and especially the intersection of those two. I'd lastly like to thank everyone who's helped me along the way. Thanks to all of my studio teachers, who I'm immensely grateful for, even if I wasn't the best student. I'd like to thank Karen David and Karen Toby for their wonderful music, and a huge thank you to Rabbi for teaching me more about the Talmud than I ever thought possible. Thanks to Jonathan, Barbie, and George for teaching me this year. Thanks to all of my friends for, well, being my friends. I have never made it this far without you. I especially want to thank Natalie and Caitlin. Thank you for fanning the ember and igniting the blaze that makes me want to come here every Friday night. Were it not for you, I likely would not be here tonight. And now, Lecha Dodi. Page 20.
20.
La 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 Lecha Dodi. La 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 Lichrat Kala. La 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 Pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat Nikabel. La 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 Lecha Dodi. La 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 Lichrat Kala. La 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 Pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat Nikabel. More bezachor v'digur echad Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'lithilah. Likrat kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor ha'berecha. Adonai,
b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Goi v'shalom,
עטרת מלה, גם בשמחה
וקצות
עולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. יאללה לה לה לך דודי, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 לקראת שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. כל הכבוד.
Remain standing if we are able and turn to page 28 for the barcode.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la la la. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 יה לה 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 לה.
We read together on the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath is the sail of the stars, creator of time and time of light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai ha-ma'ariv aravi.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Asher, and I'm going to be speaking about the Shema. Shema literally means listen in English, which I think is the crux of the prayer. Instead of directing you into a prayerful space by telling you to go inside of yourself, the Shema tells you to become present in the world around you. Additionally, it doesn't just say listen to yourself or listen to God or listen to that which is righteous. It gives us the general command to just listen. This teaches us to pay attention to everything, because everything is holy, infused with the divine spirit. We are all divine creations, and so are our surroundings. It teaches us to recognize that and to reach out to find that beauty, even when it may be hard to reach. For me, the Shema is kind of like a Swiss Army knife prayer, and that is a prayer that can be used anywhere. The Shema is always available to us when we need to say something and words fail. At the same time as it is calming, it reminds us of our commitment as Jews and as people to being holy, behaving in a way that is worthy of the beauty that is suffused in all of us. I have used the Shema in many places throughout my life. As a student, I say it to myself before big tests to enter a calm, equanimous space. As a goalie on my school's water polo team, I say it before important games to bring myself the mental balance to not be upset by the inevitable shot that will get past me. But I also use it after I have a fight with somebody close to me, after a tragedy, or when something in the world is so brutally wrong that I don't have the ability to process it. The Shema is not just a prayer for joyful times or a prayer for sad times. It is a prayer as multifaceted as the human condition, bringing us strength and tenderness, comfort and balance, wisdom and action. As I stand here today, I know that I could not achieve this milestone on my own. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my Hebrew school teachers who worked very, very hard to impart on me a love of Judaism, even when I was making their lives a lot harder. I would also like to thank all of my clergy at Shereth Israel. Rabbi Abby gave me a sense of ownership of my religion that has allowed me to interact with it and feel like it is something that not just experts can talk about it. Cantor Frommer's voice will always be the voice that I hear when I think of religious songs, my own personal Platonic ideal of prayer music. Rabbi Graf, you taught me to think deeply and analytically about Judaism, which let me go beyond surface-level analysis to wrestling with complex questions whose answers are often more important to my life than I would have guessed. George, I always appreciate the breadth of writing that you bring to our text studies, and I enjoy watching you beat Zach in chess. To my youth group leaders, Natalie and Caitlin, you always bring joy and excitement to Jewish learning. When I come to synagogue, I know that I won't ever be bored or unengaged because you both work really hard to build a strong youth group community. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank the people on stage with me right now, as well as the rest of the youth group. I've known you all since I was a lot smaller, and I appreciate every single one of you for the person that you are. I don't have time to address each of you individually, but I want you all to know that I love you all very much, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without you. Thank you.
We continue now together with the Ve'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Zachary Camille, and I'm a sophomore at... My name is Zachary Camille, and I'm a sophomore at George Washington High School. And tonight, I'm going to be leading us in the prayer Mi Hamocha, or Who is Like You. But to me, it's better known as Bim Bom Hands. Being a youth at Shereth Israel for 5 years, I've had a wonderful experience bonding with my fellow Jewish teens, sharing inside bits and jokes like, thank you. During my time at Shereth Israel Youth, I have genuinely felt like I've found my Jewish identity. and as well as strengthen my relationship with God. Through fun events with city youth, organized dinners, and volunteering for Emotzi, I have grown to cherish every moment within this wonderful building and the memories that I hold very dear and close to my heart. I also chose Mihamoha because, to quote Natalie, it is like the don't stop believing of Judaism. And with that, Mihamoha, on page 40.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Maddie Krantz. As I stand on the bima today to affirm my status as a Jewish adult, I find myself thinking about these past months. It has been such an honor to be able to sing for you all and share all of my thoughts and feelings about the world. I want to especially thank Cantor Toby for giving me this incredible experience, because without him, I wouldn't have had this chance. I also want to thank Natalie and Caitlin and all of my teachers on Friday for planning these really cool events that give me another reason to come every Friday. I chose the song Hashki Venu because it has a lot of positive memories for me. We sing it on Midrashah retreats, and before bed at Camp Ramah, we used to sing it so that we could have like a calming way to end the day. It's a song that I feel deeply connected to both here and elsewhere in the world. It's my tradition. As Tevye tells us in Fiddler on the Roof, our traditions help us keep our balance and tell us who we are. Tonight, standing up here singing Hashki Venu as an adult Jew, I know who I am. Hashki Venu is on page 43. Hashki Venu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom, leShalom, leHamdienu Malkeinu, leHayim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha.
Our thoughts now turn to those in need of shlemut, in need of the wholeness of healing. The Mishaberach is on page 253. This evening for the healing of Jim Blattner, Daniel Burton, Bob Fonero, Stephen Gerbsman, Marsha Gruskin, Nancy Igdaloff, William Kurian, Fred Nervo, Michelle Newberg, Philip Rosenberg, Agnes Rothblatt, Kristen Zeitzer, and those whom we mention now.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Dahlia Starr Kelly. Today I'll be leading the Amidah, which is the central prayer of our service. This has been the central prayer of services for thousands of years for people around the world. It gives us both a moment of community and self-reflection, a moment when we can chant the words that have been said with love and unity for thousands of years, by a community that invites all and works to spread well-being throughout the world. Alongside the importance of being one with the community, we also have an opportunity to bring our focus inwards and reflect on ourselves. Today, most people do not give themselves regular moments of meditation and reflection. The silent section of the Amidah is a bit of time set out to meditate on the past week and your needs. Our society greatly undervalues the importance of mental health and self-care. Being with everyone here, praying not just for the healing of our body, but of our spirit, our soul, with refuah shlema, and meditating on our needs, gives us the freedom to change our ideology about self-care and mental health. Adonai Sefatayv Tifta is on page 46.
La 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדום מלך, הולך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Henry, and I'm a junior at UHS. Sorry, this mic? Okay. When singing O Say Shalom, Shalom means peace. And a big part of why I love Sheriff Israel is because I feel that it helps to bring peace to me, and obviously that's good. And I am a madrahim at Studio on Sundays here at Sheriff Israel, and I find that also helps to bring me peace, and it really helps to connect me with the congregation and the community, and it helps to center me and bring peace, which is a big part of why I do it and why I enjoy it.
During my first year of rabbinical school, one of my professors, Rabbi Yoki Amir, said something that absolutely took my breath away. He said that in contemporary times, we are all Jews by choice. I think what he meant is that in contemporary society, when we no longer have restrictions on us as much and there's less anti-Semitism, we can easily drift away from Judaism. Instead, being Jewish is an affirmative choice each of us makes. I love hearing people's stories of why they choose to be Jewish or why they choose to support Jewish family members. When Rabbi Graf asked me to share a little tonight about my journey toward becoming a rabbi, I thought it would be a nice opportunity to explain my choice to take Judaism and run with it. And as my family can attest, I have really taken Judaism and run with it after 6 years of rabbinical school. So thank you, Mom and Kate and everyone else for bearing with me. I hope that sharing a little bit of my journey and my affirmative choice to choose Judaism will open up the opportunity for each of you to tell your own story. As many of us know from community organizing, one of the best ways to build community is to share our personal stories. So here's mine. I like to tell people that my journey with Judaism began right here in this sanctuary when I was about 9 years old. As Cantor Martin Feldman sang Avinu Malkeinu on Rosh Hashanah, I stared up at the 1,109 light bulbs that line this sanctuary, and I was overcome by what I now know Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel calls awe and radical amazement. When I was a 9-year-old sitting in these pews, I didn't have a vocabulary with which to describe what I felt. But I experienced something really important for me in that moment. This sense of awe was my entry point to Judaism and spirituality. I experienced it outside of the synagogue too. There was a beautiful moment when I was sitting looking over the Sonoma coast and I saw an incredible sunset. And I was just overcome by the splendor of what I saw. I also felt this riding across the Golden Gate Bridge on a bike with my dad. When I was young, I had other important sources of spirituality and Jewish connection, but I don't think I appreciated them as much as I could have. My journey in Judaism has been about coming to value the many ways spirituality expresses itself and the many ways there are of doing Judaism. Although I didn't fully appreciate it back then, I was lucky when I was young to experience a Jewish connection in my immediate family. My father is Jewish, and my mother is not. My parents decided to raise my sister Norma and me as Jews. I went to JCC preschool, and my mom, who's sitting right there, loved the Shabbat rituals we did so much that she brought them to our house, and we lit candles every Friday night together. So thank you for that, Mom. I also didn't fully appreciate the connections that I made in Sheriff Israel and how important they were. Nancy Sheftel Gomes was my Hebrew school teacher, and I was involved with City, our synagogue youth group. In fact, one of my claims to fame is that Cyrus Stoller and I wrote the city bylaws. I remember laughing with him over the word Jewry. We were so taken by the word Jewry that we tried to squeeze the word in at every opportunity. I became a bar mitzvah with Rabbi Wiener officiating, and then had confirmation with Rabbi Raphael. May the memory of both of these great rabbis be for a blessing. Both my bar mitzvah and my confirmation were very meaningful to me, and I left to college knowing that Judaism was an important part of my life. Still, in college on the East Coast, I came to appreciate more ways of connecting to Judaism. Holding cinnamon as I gazed into a braided Havdalah candle, I realized I had found others with whom I shared my religious experiences. My friends and I wanted to figure out what mattered most to us, and we loved to sing together. I began to glimpse pieces of the mystical components of Judaism. I also went through some difficult times in my late teens and early 20s. My faith helped me through them to some extent. It helped me believe that eventually I would come out okay. Now, 15 years later, I have seen how powerful religious practice generally and Judaism in particular can be as we go through the most difficult moments in our lives. In my early 20s, I also fell in love with Jewish theology. Sitting in a coffee shop in the Richmond district, I read Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel's God in Search of Man, and I underlined it with my mechanical pencil, and I basically underlined the whole book. I found in the book a vocabulary for what I'd experienced much of my life. Theology remains really important to me today, even if I'm not sure we'll ever be able to put into words exactly what God may or may not be. I see theologies as approximations as describing the indescribable. I found that theologies can open worlds of understanding that weren't previously there. In my mid-20s, I went to Haiti with Kate, who is now my wife, and I discovered yet another form of spiritual connection. In Haiti, Kate and I lived with a group that practiced a service-oriented form of yoga. Every night we would come together and dance around like this and chant the words Babanam Kevalam, which in Sanskrit mean everything is love. One night we chanted Babanam Kevalam, everything is love, with boys from a children's home that were right next to the school. These boys had lived extremely difficult lives. Many of them were the victim of trafficking. That night, as I sang off-key with those boys, as they shamelessly sang as loud as they could, I felt an overwhelming sense of connection. As we sang Babanam Kevalam, everything is love, the words we were saying seemed true. In Haiti, I found a type of spiritual connection in which love permeates the entire world, in which even in difficult circumstances, people feel the overwhelming power of togetherness. I also remember an important conversation I had with Kate in Haiti. Of course, me being me, and you're getting to know me now, I brought a book by Abraham Joshua Heschel with me to Haiti. And I remember telling Kate how important this book was to me. And she said to me, if this is so important to you, why don't you become a rabbi? Oh, me? I said. There is no way I could ever learn enough to become a rabbi. I've been blessed to know some incredible rabbis, Rabbi Wiener, Rabbi Raphael, and Rabbi Graf, and others. A central part of my journey to becoming a rabbi has been learning about how to be my own kind of rabbi. Like many of us in our professional and personal lives, I've had to learn how to do this as myself. Eventually, I came to accept that my love of learning, my love of being in conversation with people, and my faith could lead me to become a rabbi, and I applied to rabbinical school and got in. I'll confess that when I started rabbinical school, I didn't really understand what rabbis do. Over the past 6 years, I've learned that I have so much respect and admiration for this profession. In rabbinical school, my teachers would talk about how the rabbi has 3 roles: priest, pastor, and prophet. I feel so blessed to be able to do this work, to accompany people at pivotal moments, to offer comfort, to be trusted to preach. My Jewish story has taught me that Judaism offers a launching pad for many different forms of connection. Yes, there's the awe that first inspired me. There's also the value of being part of community, of mystical connection, of connecting back to one's heritage, of our social justice work, of engaging intellectually. The list goes on. What matters to me as the new rabbi is that we connect to something greater than ourselves, that we make this synagogue a place where all of us, with our different interests and ways of connecting, can be in relationship with something beyond ourselves. I think one of the best ways we can achieve this is by sharing our personal stories, and if I haven't heard yours already, I hope to hear yours soon. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov number 9. For those of you who have come here often in the last year, you have heard me say over and over again how excited we were to prepare for the ordination of number 9. This is number 9, Rabbi George Altshuler. What am I talking about? There are 9 of us who grew up here at Congregation Shereth Israel, who inherited the legacy of the rabbis who came before us, who became rabbis ourselves. I'm number 6. I spent 2 hours on the phone with number 1 yesterday. I talked about a program that number 2 worked on and number 5 worked on just yesterday. Number 7's parents are sitting right here. Number 9 is our newest member of this kind of kooky, sort of odd, but incredibly magical fellowship. You knowingly or unknowingly joined us last week. It's a fellowship of people connected in so many ways across the distances and across time, across the country, across the world. We don't all see each other very often, and in fact, some of us talk to each other infrequently. But there's a bond, a connection, a kind of dysfunctional family relationship that the 9 of us seem to have, which really does have a magical element to it. You'll come to understand what I mean. I never enter this space without feeling the presence of Rabbi Wiener and Rabbi Raphael. I know for many of you, this space has the sacred relationships you had with them in it, or a special teaching, or a moment in a life cycle space in your own life that took place here with one of them present. But I'll say that I can never, ever come into this space, whether it's in the middle of the day and I'm just coming to be here, or I come into a sanctuary full of people without feeling their presence just up here. I look up there, feeling that they are with us, supporting and celebrating what's happening at Congregation Shereth Israel in these years following their incredible leadership, the legacy that they have passed down to us, to the 9 of us and to all of us who come to celebrate and live our Judaism in so many ways as a result of their teaching, of their vision, of their way. I think of them up there because both of them were the most extraordinary rabbis emeriti that I could ever have asked for. They came to be here to support, to love, a little bit to look at their watches, to tell me it was time to start, but never, ever to do anything but to love those of us who stood up here and to honor and celebrate all of us as each one of us came to this space to find community and to find meaning in our Judaism. They continue to support and love us, I feel, as we live on building and creating on the foundation that they and the rabbis who came before them, the cantors, the leaders, would want to see. And so tonight, as we celebrate these 7 incredible teens who are behind me, and Rabbi Altshuler, who will forever be number 9, I feel their presence so strongly in this space, as they are so proud of what we've continued to accomplish through challenging times and through wonderful times, through small gestures and very large vision that we share together in this space and in this community as we look to the future of our own incredible, incredible congregation. I'd like to invite the teens to stand over here on the side. And is Kate outside of this space, or is she here with? Kate had to go because of bedtime. Okay, well, then I'm going to ask you all who are taller than I am, even with my tall shoes on, to hold this up. And Rabbi Altshuler, I would like you to stand under this talit, which represents in so many ways. There we go. Which represents in so many ways the shelter of this community, the legacy that has been passed down now to you as well, that is about the teaching that you have begun to do for all of us, the leadership that you've already shown to all of us, and the leadership that is yet to come as you are now our rabbi. Surrounded by these teens, your students, and your teachers, as we all are, I invite everybody to stand as we join together in the traditional blessing, Birkat HaKohanim, passed down by God to Aaron and Moses, to all of us, to bless each other with. These words are on the wall of our sanctuary, and they're words that we use from one person to another to say thank you, to say may you be strengthened, to say may this legacy that you've inherited continue to be our great blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you, keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God turn to you and smile upon you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha lachem, your family, shalom. May God be with you all the days of your life and bring you and Kate, your beautiful Sela, your mom, Julie, your dad, Fred, your sister, and all those who love and support you, who have brought you to this place, to great heights, as you are now our rabbi and our teacher, our beloved number 9. Amen. We will join together in honor of Rabbi Altshuler's ordination, in honor of these 7 teens, and so many wonderful things in the singing of Shehechianu, as we thank God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen.
We remain standing and turn to page 282 as we take these words of Aleinu very seriously. It is upon us to support each other, to teach each other, to celebrate together, and to repair our world. Page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Ayelet Passman Lapushin, and I have been going to Shereth Israel literally since I can ever remember. Like, I can't even name the age I started going. And the prayer I chose was the Mourner's Kaddish, so I'm going to start with my thank yous just because, you know. There are so many people that I want to thank for getting me here. All of my rabbis and teachers and mentors who have taught me over the years. And a special thanks to Natalie and Caitlin, who literally shaped who I am and built my personality. And a super special thank you to all the teens behind me who I have literally grown up with. And now why the Mourner's Kaddish is important to me. First of all, the Mourner's Kaddish offers a channel for our grief and pain. When we lose someone dear to us, words often fail to capture the depth of our emotions. But within the sacred verses of the Kaddish, we find comfort and a way to express our sorrow. It provides a framework through which we can articulate our feelings and find a measure of comfort in the collective support of those who join us in prayer. Beyond its personal significance, the Mourner's Kaddish plays a vital role in the healing process of the community. By reciting the Kaddish together, we create a bond that goes beyond individual mourning. We become part of a collective, a community that comes together to support one another in times of loss. The act of reciting the Kaddish as a unified group not only brings solace to the mourners, but also strengthens our connections within our community, reminding us that we are never alone in our grief. Furthermore, the Mourner's Kaddish serves as a powerful reminder of the cycle of life and the eternal nature of the soul. It emphasizes the Jewish belief in continuity of generations and the lasting impact our loved ones have on our lives. In reciting the Kaddish, we honor their memory and we celebrate the legacy they have left behind. Through this prayer, we affirm that their influence continues to guide and inspire us. And now, the Mourner's Kaddish.
We turn to page 295. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. May their legacies live on, and may they continue to inspire us. If you are observing Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or 30 days of mourning, please stand and share a name with us. We remember also for Shloshim, Patricia Axelrod, Dolores Auntie D. Cherno, Charles M. Coons, and Yochanan Giovanni Sermonetta. If you're observing the first year of mourning for a loved one, please stand and share a name with us. The yahrzeit anniversaries on this Shabbat are, please stand as your loved one's name is read. Solomon Burke, Boris Borikovich, Joseph Boxer, Morris Brescher, Barry Collier, Lenore Anderson Feynman, Anne Hancock, Elsie Handler, Trudy Hauser, Delmar Kolb, Dr. Leon Kolb, Rose H. Libman, Paul Mander, Ann Merkel, Audrey Mizrak, Hannah Reisfeld, Carolyn Reznikoff, Joe Carol Ruse, Margie Schoenberg, Herschel Solomon, Arthur Tarloff, Oleta Thomas, Benjamin P. Wiener. If there are others whom we remember on this Shabbat, please share a name with us. We stand together with our mourners and turn to page 294 as we thank God for the privilege of their lives. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei zechol Beit Yisrael, b'galav v'zman kariv imru, amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam o'amei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalel, Shemei Kudsha Brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to mourners everywhere. And we say together, Amen.
Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel.
Please be seated. Jonathan Emmanuel, except for you, come on up. Jonathan is our amazing educator here at Congregation Shereth Israel. And though you only came to know these teens a short while ago,
I sure did.
just a year ago, not even, you are deeply embedded in their psyches now. Your love of Judaism, your messages of right and wrong, what they better not do while here. Right?
Oops, I didn't know I had that much pressure.
Has infiltrated, and you're an amazing leader, teacher, inspiration for all of our kids and for our teens and for our teens going forward. So some words of blessing from Jonathan.
So I'm kind of the new guy, at least I was, and I can't use that excuse too much any longer. And part of that is because it's been like 10 months since I've been in this position, but also I feel like I've gone through some kind of complete cycle. And I was sort of thrown right into this community, and I was drawn to this community because of its unique character, because of just the people I've known who've been a part of this place and the legacy that it leaves, as you've heard a little bit from our new rabbi and from our senior rabbi. But I was new, and being education director, it's not just like, yeah, you should know something or two about Judaism, and I feel pretty confident with that. But you also have to understand the community really well. You have to work with a community. You have to work inside a community. It's a very difficult and nuanced thing to learn. And I've never seen a Jewish, and I'm not an expert at this place, but I feel like I might have gone through a year where I am better equipped and more knowledgeable about Shereth Israel. And that is because of the people sitting behind me. They are leaders. They are not just confirmants. They are leaders. They are leaders of this community. All of these people do more than just come here to learn or to be together. I think it's probably the overarching thing that brings them is one another and the exciting and fun times they have together. But they all do something else here. They volunteer. to make meals in Hamotzi. They are madrachim, many of them, and they come on Sunday mornings and stay and like spend their time with these kids. They come, the first person I met, crazy, in July in the middle of summer was a Yelet. You were here volunteering in our office, just like she was here like moving things around, and I'm like, wow, this is normal? You have teens here in the summertime? Totally. And that's because of the leadership of these kids. Leadership, one way to say it in Hebrew, is hadracha, and it comes from the idea of the derech, right? Which is a way or a path. And when you come to a new community, it's easy to not know which paths to take. And I felt so comfortable having these people here to show me that. Especially because of the warmth they bring, the smarts they bring, and combining that smarts with a pretty unique sense of humor. And I really appreciate that. It's almost like a Talmudic level of humor. Like there's depths and layers that I don't understand, but I'm learning. But that doesn't just come from them. It also comes from the amazing leaders who brought them to this point. And so I really want to honor their teachers, all the religious school teachers and rabbis that they've had in the past, and particularly this year, Barbie, Caitlin, and of course, Natalie. Natalie could not be here tonight because of some family health issues. But I know if she was here, she would talk about how these were her day ones and how they mean so much to her and how much she means to them and how much these teachers in their lives have been a model for them. And I am so excited that they get to be models for me because now I know where, I have a better idea of where to take this community as an education director, but even more so, these are your leaders. They're not going anywhere. None of them are seniors. So they'll be here next year, and they'll be leading this community even more so. So I bless you to continue that and never stop learning, never stop teaching, because us older folks have a lot to learn from you. And please keep that sense of humor, because it is wacky and fun. Shabbat shalom.
Just before the service started, Rabbi Altshuler and I found ourselves in the dome, not by accident. It took about, 100 stairs to get up there. It was certainly a lot of work, as I yell it. It was not accidental. We were up there. It looks very different from down here, doesn't it? We stood up in the dome and just took a moment together. Rabbi Altshuler asked these teens what they've learned from Shereth Israel, and each one shared something beautiful. Each one shared something truly from the heart, from their souls, about what makes this place special and what makes this place a part of them. And in the same way, I'll turn around. You all are a part of us. I stood with each of you at your bar mitzvah. And I can't say, like Natalie could, that you were my day ones. But I will say that watching you guys grow from kids into these extraordinary almost adults is really a great privilege for all of us in this community to watch. It's why we're here. We've been able to help guide them to this place, to a place of almost adulthood, and now they will be our guides. They will be our teachers as they go on to lead us, to lead the Jewish people, to lead their families, and to lead for all of us wherever they will end up going in these next few years as products of this community of Shereth Israel, as kids who have grown up here with our values. We are so honored. We are so proud of you. And the generations who came before all of us, who reside in this space and continue to inspire us, are so proud of all of you. I would invite you guys to stand and put your arms around each other, just the 7 of you. And I want to share with you the blessing from the Talmud that I read upstairs. As I said, upstairs in the dome, this is a beautiful blessing that I like to share with people at different times in their lives. To me, as I read this at a baby naming, which I sometimes do, I feel like these words are wide open. It's unknown what will happen in a brand new baby's life. And as we say these words at that time, we wish for them a life of meaning. You guys have started down that journey. We say in Judaism, ad me'av esrim, to 120 like Moses. You should continue to be strong, and you should continue to thrive, and you should continue to bring honor to yourselves, to your families, to the Jewish people that you are a huge part of. But as I read this to you tonight, again, shared these words, as I said before, but now I share them with you in front of the congregation. And as I share these words now, you're not at the very, very beginning of your lives on the 8th day or the 30th day or the first few days, but you've accomplished so much already. And as you go forward, you will accomplish so much more. So these words really represent all that is yet to come. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition and your words be filled with insight. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue and your vision be on a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of holy words and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips speak wisdom and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the holy ancient one of old. Amen.
All righty, well, we have no Jonathan, so it's on us. We are going to sing a special song that could be found on page 348. It's called Ani ve'ata, Me and You, written by Arik Einstein. And I do want to say that you guys liked it or not. They were my second 6th grade class, and we all broke our teeth together for the first time on the Ve'ahavta. So if you know the song, maybe sing it along with me, or I'll call you up later. Okay, so let's try this. Ani ve'ata neshane et ha'olam. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה, נשנה את העולם. One more. אני ואתה, ננסה מההתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה, נשנה את העולם.
Which means you and I together will change the world. We look forward to learning about all the things that the 7 of you are doing to change the world and make it a better place. We stand and turn to page 5 for Kiddush as we bless the holy time of Shabbat.
How about you all come? Let's do it together. Somebody's got to pick up the cup. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam boreh pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim. And I know from seeing a picture earlier that Ruth has honored all of you with a beautiful challah representing your learning, representing the values that have been poured into them and that we expect them to use as they go forward in life. Would you like to say anything else about your challah?
Well, confirmation is often around the time of Shavuot, and which commemorates the giving of the Ten Commandments. So I bring to you the Ten Commandments in edible form. It's also a holiday of dairy, so it's a milk bread, and of course, it's filled with chocolate because it's chocolate.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, mazel tov to all of us.
for it,
Please
guys.
hug the people around you.
Wow.
And we look forward to celebrating with you in the foyer. Shabbat shalom.
She knows her stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Oh wait, we gotta have some challah first.